I got a very special video for you because it kicks off a series of videos I'm planning on making each day this month called Prolif-Mas. Let's see how long we can get this challenge going on this month. Yeah, we're gonna see what we do. Currently a little under the weather, trying to fight that, so we'll see how that progresses during the course of this little challenge as well. So yes. Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy Paulie, back at it again with another video. Now it's been a while since the last one, but I can explain, everybody. First off, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. We made it to 1,000 subscribers, y'all. I want to make a video later in the week or sometime soon, no promises, of what I want to do with the future of the channel, what I want to do, you know, just moving forward, like how many videos I want to make, schedule for like maybe live stream soon. But until then, you know, thank you guys so much for just viewing, commenting, just looking at the videos, liking them, subscribing. I really appreciate you guys so much. So yeah, getting to the explaining part about Prolif-Mas. So, as the intro kind of pointed out, your boy got had a little bit of a fever and had a long time recovering. So yeah, so that's why Prolif-Mas kind of got shut down and ultimately became a failure. So I apologize for that, but I was, in the meantime, as crazy as it sounds, I was still creating artwork while I was sick and, you know, while I was gone. So you know, another reason why I couldn't get back to it was because I had, you know, other obligations. You know, it's the holiday season, and I was finishing up some commissions to make that into like another video as well, just, you know, how to go about commissions and what have you, and show the footage of me creating those. But in the meantime, let's get back to Prolif-Mas, right? So to just get back to the swing of things, we got day 2, in which my wife and I were painting on vinyls. And for this day, the prompt was Santa, I want to say, Santa Claus. So naturally, you know, I painted a black Santa Claus on a vinyl record, and she was painting like little garlands and snowflakes on hers. So yeah, enjoy the footage on that. Alrighty, so that was that. That was my little piece of artwork for day 2. So day 3 was the 3 Kings. And this was like where the height of my sickness was, right? I was laying in bed all day, trying to recover, but first off, yeah, I don't even care about that. Anywho, so with this piece, it took to procreate since I couldn't get to my drawing board. Had to lay in bed all day and you know, recover, but still had that, you know, iPad right next to me. So I created this artwork in Procreate. Like I said, I was trying to gather from other artists' interpretation of the 3 Magi or the 3 Kings, and so I looked at J.C. Leindecker's illustration, and I kind of did a study sort of like the hands that he created for those 3 Magi or Magi, 3 Kings, whatever else. And I wanted to focus on that. in this piece, and then like, you know, add like baby Jesus's hand, like, you know, showing that they're like offering this up to Jesus. You know, so yeah, I just wanted to add that little like, you know, figure in there to show that like there's like more to this illustration than just the three Magi kind of thing. But yeah, so that was this. Not the best piece of artwork, but you know, it'll have to do for a sick man for day 3. But yeah. All right, so for day 4 we have gift giving, and please excuse me if I'm looking down. I'm looking at the little reference sheet, the reference notes from my sketchbook that I was you know, kind of penciling down. But for day 4 we have gift giving, which I wanted to illustrate this little idea of you know, well, for one, you have to get the comic in order for you to really get the joke. Links are in the description, you know, and I got the little card right here if you want to check that out. The teaser is free, but if you feel so inclined to pick up the book, it's only just a few dollars on Gumroad digitally. You can get the PDF files, but anywho, PDF images. But anywho, back to gift giving. So with this, I wanted to illustrate this little idea of you know, Buff Bison and Shovel Guy presenting this gift to this guy. Once again, you got to get the comic in order for you to get the joke. But yeah, so I wanted to illustrate this idea, and like I was saying earlier, I would thumbnail the different ideas, and sometimes it's a little hard for me to let go of an idea, so sometimes I would just put those thumbnails into the final illustration, but as comic panels. And you'll see with each corresponding day, I tried to have it, you know, tied to the number of the day. So like with this one, day 4, I have 4 panels within the final illustration. So so yeah, hopefully the jokes land and everything like that. But yeah. Day 4 is gift giving. Day 5 is North Star. So with this one, like I was saying, I have 5 little comic panels, just trying to exercise that skill of storytelling through sequential images. That's all comic booking is, you know, storytelling through sequential illustrations and artwork. So with this one, I was battling between whether or not I wanted to do the 5-panel scheme, or if I wanted to do just like the final splash illustration to, you know, show the North Star being directing both Shovel Guy and Buff Bison to the church, you know, for refuge. So yeah, that was the process for this one. Here we are, right here. And yeah, enjoy. So I wanted to talk about a little bit of the materials that I'm using for these illustrations, for most of them at least. I talked about one illustration being done on Procreate, and the Santa image being a, you know, acrylic on top of vinyl. But most of these illustrations are done with ballpoint pen and on top of like this like beige paper that I got at Michael's. It's very inexpensive, and it's really cool paper to work on, you know. I wanted to use that instead of like a plain, you know, just like copy paper, because like the beige just had more character, and like I thought it looked well. I thought it went well with the, you know, ballpoint pen and like the ink and everything like that. So you know, just something different from just regular white paper. But yeah, so I use ballpoint pens, the 1.8 round point, you know, nib. They're very interesting to use. They're very fun to use. They give you like a very wide variety of like line weight that you can pull off with them. It's really fun to use. I definitely recommend using it. And then I use like a regular, just big, you know, they sell the variety of different colors within separate packs, or you can just get it within like a, you know, variety pack. But I use the light blue ballpoint pen as like an under sketch, and then over top of that I use the round point big ballpoint pen. But yeah, so getting into prompt number 6, or day 6, which is joy. With this one I had like a really fun idea of you know, sledding, you know, and just like recalling back to my childhood memories of how I would go with my mom and dad and my sisters, as well as like a few cousins, and we would go down this like little hill at a local park that we would always go to, and just, you know, sled with all these other kids just down this big old hill. It was awesome. It was really fun. So when my wife made this prompt, this kind of like image popped in my head of Shovel Guy, Buff Bison, and this little girl character that you may or may not see in a future project. But so yeah, she's so with this one, I just wanted to exhibit like that childhood joy, that like, you know, fun time that I had, you know, just illustrate it with these characters that I have in my mind. So yeah, I also wanted to add that little bit of humor in there with like, you know, Buff Bison in the background using a tree, and Shovel Guy using his like shovel to use as a sled, you know, just keeping it fun, keeping it funny. But yeah, so that's this illustration. Here's the process. So with day 7, it all started like how all the other illustrations went, but I ended up finishing this illustration on Procreate because I wasn't too happy with the under sketch, or at least, you know, I wasn't too confident with putting the ballpoint pen over top of it. So I just, you know, still having that little bit of a sick brain, you know, just seeing how can I finish this piece. Hey, whichever, you know, form of getting it done happens, and, you know, whatever way I can get it done, I'm gonna just do it. So I took the sketch to Procreate and finished the illustration that way. I gave this one color because I thought it was fun. I thought it was really fun to try and, you know, bring this to life and really get that joy and, like, you know, homely feel to it. This one depicts a couple putting up their Christmas tree. That may or may not have been inspired by me and my wife doing the same. But yeah, so that's what this illustration is. Here's the process. And yeah, that's this illustration of day 7 tree lighting. All right, so day 8 was Christmas feast, and so this one was, I'm not too happy with the final product, but I really like the sketching process. I really like the ideas that I had going on with this piece. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with the final illustration, but I really like the sketch, and, you know, not everything's gonna be a winner. Not every single drawing and illustration is gonna be a winner. So, you know, I'm glad that I still executed the idea and made a finished piece of artwork. But yeah, so this one, I tried to get that humor in there. You'll see in the sketch, like, it's a lot more humorous than like the final version. But yeah, I just tried to depict Buff Bison, you know, just pigging out on his plate, and like all of his debris and mess gets onto, you know, Shovel Guy's plate. He's like, ugh, like, you're all disgusted and everything like that. So yeah, that's what this illustration is about. Christmas feast, you know, had to, you know, get that little inner fat boy in me onto the page. page. So yeah, that's this piece. All right, so we're coming up on the second to last prompt that I was able to finish with this challenge, and that is day 9's log cabin. So I'm sure my wife had something else envisioned with this piece, but and I did too. I had like a sketch or like a thumbnail exploring what, you know, the log cabin might be for, like, you know, just trying to give like a background for Buff Bison, because he doesn't live with Shovel Guy. He, you know, just goes off to some mysterious place in my mind, and, you know, he sleeps there. But I wanted to maybe give him a little house, like a log cabin out in the woods or whatever else in the outskirts of the city. But instead I went with another childhood memory of mine, which is playing with Lincoln logs. I don't know if anybody's played with those, or like, you know, have children who play with Lincoln logs. So let me know in the comments below if you know a family member, or like have a student maybe who plays with Lincoln logs. But I remember back in my grade school, you know, we had this class devoted to, like, you know, tech, or like, you know, just they called it technology, but like, you know, we were learning about all types of different things, like kind of like engineering related or whatever else, like a pseudo-science class. But anywho, pseudoscience in the sense that, you know, it's like more technical based, like, you know, we're on the, either on the computer, or, you know, like I was saying, like, you know, playing with like those sets of toys where like you get to build like a set, and like it like has pulleys and everything like that. But anywho, I remember playing with Lincoln logs, and it was like really fun, like as like a little center where we were playing with those things. But anywho, I wanted to show Buff Bison playing with like these, or like, you know, trying to build a little log cabin with the Lincoln logs on their way to, like, with Shovel Guy and Buff Bison on their way to the next prompt. But you know, I tried to envision them in like a little train. I don't know how well that conveys through the image, but you know, I was really impressed. It really I was really, what's the word? I was really satisfied with like the close-up like illustration of him putting that log there, like really like intense little scene there, just for him like to accidentally bump the table and it falls to pieces. Even though I'm sure that's not how it works, because it is pretty sturdy. But anywho, you know, he's a violent guy anyhow. So that's the process of this illustration, and yeah, that's day 9 log cabin. All right, so we got the final prompt that I made an illustration to, which is New York City. And I know my wife was like really excited about this, because we both really love New York City. And so I tried to envision both Shovel Guy and Buff Bison, like, you know, arriving from the little Amtrak that they were, you know, riding in, and, you know, get there to either do business or whatever else, like, you know, maybe take a vacation. So I was just thinking about all these things and like trying to make a little thumbnail for those possibilities. But what I ended up finally drawing was Shovel Guy just ended up having to do a bunch of work while he's at. I imagine most of this world that he's inhabiting to be like mostly frozen over. So he's like there, like, you know, helping people, trying to like, you know, clean out the streets of like all this snow and everything like that. So yeah, so I depicted him in front of the Rockefeller Center, or like the Rockefeller Square. You can see the tree in the background, and like where the square is, where the most people would be ice skating and everything like that. He's like, you know, on the job, whereas like he's imagining himself like, you know, man, I wish this was like a vacation, you know, like him just paroling the streets of Times Square and everything like that. So that's what I ended up upon. Like, you know, I had a different idea. Like you'll see, or I'm sure you saw it in the sketching process of like them, both him and you know, Buff Bison taking this ferry to New York City to see, like, you know, the Statue of Liberty and everything like that. So that was one idea I could have explored, but I ended up with this one because I thought it was interesting. I thought it was fun. But yeah, so that is the last and final illustration. closing remarks, closing thoughts. Once again, wasn't intending to get sick and, you know, just feel ill and then get backtracked with all the different prompts and everything like that. But can't always plan for those things, or, you know, those things happen. Not too beat up about it or anything like that, because I am very happy that I got to create some illustrations that I may not have created otherwise if, you know, my wife and I didn't brainstorm this little idea. So there's always next year, Lord willing. And still want to do like challenges. I want to create challenges too that you guys can probably get involved in. I hope you guys had, like, you know, fantastic Christmas. I hope you guys, you know, enjoyed your holidays, enjoyed your break. Yeah, happy holidays to all of you, and I'll see you guys next year. More announcements on the channel, and just, you know, more of a celebration of us hitting this milestone of 1,000 subscribers coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you stayed this long, I really appreciate you for just, you know, just viewing for this long and taking this journey with me, and, you know, down this little challenge that I tried to give myself. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. God bless.